back here at 100 Yards Football here on Real Talk Sports Network this evening. I'm Vincent Turner. Join me this evening some very talented panel experts. We've really been disagreeing over the last, 15, 20 minutes. I guess now we're going to go into the final team in the NFC South. Can we say we're moving on from the Carolina Panthers, gentlemen?
I can say so.
Mr. Brown?
Of course.
Minister, how did you feel about that? Was I too in defense of Carolina? I said they had a lot of injuries, and that's why Cam Newton struggled offensively. But two other gentlemen didn't see it that way. So before we move on, do you see it any other way? Was I wrong?
Okay, you want me to take a side on this?
No, you looking at Joe Hamilton, so you already told me which side you took.
Okay, so now.
But
okay.
you covered the Falcons, so you should know more than anybody else that the Panthers had a lot of injuries. They started 2 rookie corners, but I'm not going to say no more, dog. It's a new season. In Carolina, I think it's improved in the draft, and I still think they got one of the better D-lines. But let's start off with the New Orleans Saints.
Well, let them finish. Let them go. Let them go.
Oh, you want to say Carolina?
Well, no, I mean, I think that since Ben spoke for me already, let's move on to the Saints. I'll reserve any comments I have for Carolina because I can see clearly.
Oh, I know. See,
yes, go ahead.
I know why the minister don't want to say because he's real close to Cam Newton's father. I take that back. So
that's what we wanted to get in.
Yeah.
Shot.
But no, I'm not throwing the shot though. But I'm just
tell you this: Cam Newton is my wife's second cousin.
Okay.
So everything I've said about him, so that makes us family as well. So everything I've said about him is purely watching the coach's copy on this film, Mr. Football.
Yes,
I'm not
sir.
doing, and I don't care who you are. You could be my son. When I turn on this football copy, the coach's copy of this game, what does your footwork look like? What does your eyes look like? Are you still holding on and staring this receiver down? Even though you've taken hits, and I do know as a quarterback that sometimes when you took 30 hits and it piles up, you're going to get rid of that ball. I
Yes,
do
sir.
know the conscience. I do know the mentality of that way. Not on that level that he is, but I do know how that feels. That still doesn't take the responsibility to take my drop, read the defense, and let's play ball. Okay, that's it.
Mr. Minister.
Well, appreciate you guys for leaving me about 30 seconds to comment. I appreciate you on that. I will say this once. First of all, if you're asking me, do I have somewhat of an affinity for the Newton family, since I have interviewed Cam's dad on several occasions, since he is a preacher like me, you might be right. Now, Joe, what it seemed to me is I believe that you are involved in a quarterback camp. Is that correct?
Absolutely. I love, tuning quarterback. That's what I do, train quarterbacks.
And I'm not trying to, again, say anything off, but it seemed to me at one point I was ready for you to put your number out there. Hey, call me for tips on better quarterback. Because, I mean, you really kind of went through about the guys' progression. You kind of roasted them. And, Joe, as you know, being a mobile quarterback, from time to time, people question a mobile quarterback's decision-making. Oh, that guy, he didn't go through the progression, but I'm sure you went through yours. But there were times where you were thinking, Joe Hamilton needs to be around the next play, so I got to go.
Yes, Minister, I tell you that's an awesome point what you just said. But let me tell you something. That year, Cam Newton won MVP.
Yes, sir.
Don't you know that there was only one other quarterback that threw from the pocket more than Cam Newton?
No.
So the perception is that almost Cam, because he's athletic, that he gets out of that pocket. He's a very mobile and decision making. He stood in that pocket second to only Tom Brady with pocket throws from the pocket MVP year. So he gets out there when he needs to. So that even more makes my point like come on now, you hold it, you patent it. And last year he patted too much. He tried to be a Dan Marino. Get on out of there.
I will admit there were times we held the ball too long when he regressed to the old Cam Newton.
There you go.
But I don't want to create any kind of conspiracy situation here, but you know and I know, Joe, the NFL let Cam get hit more than normal.
Yes, sir.
Especially a guy coming off an MVP year.
Yes,
some
sir.
of the hits in that very first game, some of those guys should have been penalized and possibly lost some game time. So I don't want to really speak to why the NFL did that, because, again, we have to move on to New Orleans Saints to talk about another great quarterback in Drew Brees. Mr. Football?
Case closed?
Case closed.
Is the book closed on Carolina this evening?
For now, definitely for now.
By far, case closed. Yes, sir.
We got 16 other pages for later, though.
And that being said, we're going to go to break and come back with our final segment with the picks for the 2017 season in NFL. I'm Vincent Turner, representing 100 Yards Football along with Mr. Joe Hamilton, Barry Brown, and the Minister of Defense, John Simmons. 100 Yards Football, we broadcasting live on Real Talk Sports Network from the Holiday Inn located in Stockbridge, Georgia, 25 miles west of downtown Atlanta.